Good day and welcome to another wonderful edition of Daily Excellence. I am Donald and today we're going to be talking about the top 5 best SMART goal hacks. Trust me, number 4 will change your life forever. I have a secret for you. If you like this video and share this video and subscribe to this channel, you will have good luck for 7 days. Trust me. Try it. It actually works. Hello guys, so most of my videos now have chapters. You double click on the timeline and then the chapters present themselves. You can scroll through and click where you want to watch. Or another way you can access the chapters is to check in the description. You can find the chapters in the description. Thank you so much for subscribing. Let's get to it. Everyone has literally heard about SMART goals and how important they are in helping us achieve the things we want to achieve in life. However, just because you've made your goals SMART doesn't really mean that you are actually going to make them happen. I did a video about how to make your New Year's resolutions SMART so that you can achieve them and accomplish them by the end of the year. I'll leave a link about that video in the description so you can click and go check it out. So what we're talking about is that the fact that you've made your goals SMART doesn't really mean that you'll really accomplish them. So today we want to talk about the top 5 best ways to achieve your goals even after you've made those goals SMART. So here are the top 5 best SMART goal hacks everybody needs to know. Number 1, be deliberate. Being deliberate is all about being conscious about the actions you need to take. See, just because you're thinking about the actions you need to take doesn't really mean that you're taking those actions. And this goes out for all the introverts out there under the sound of my voice. A lot of introverts imagine that just because they're thinking about doing those things and they're actually doing something about it. No, you're not. You have to be deliberate. You have to come out of your comfort zone and start doing those actions you've actually planned to do. Listen, you're not going to wait until you feel like doing a task before you do it. You just have to do it anyway. You have to be deliberate about it. You have to be conscious about it. Because a lot of the time, you're not going to feel like doing most of those things. Yes, maybe when you start out the process, you might be feeling inspired and motivated, and you might really feel like doing those things in the beginning. But somewhere along the line, you begin to lose the feeling. Basically, go beyond that feeling of not feeling like doing something and take those actions. Let's take, for example, you have said that you want to keep your space tidy, right? And you say to yourself, the actions you will take is that every evening before you go to sleep, you're going to tidy up your room and then go to bed. Now, for the first few days, I want to imagine that you were able to do those things enthusiastically because you could see the vision of the person you were becoming at the end of the day. Well, somewhere along the line, you might come back from work, you might have so much things to do that you may not necessarily stick to what you said you were going to do, and you slept and you didn't tidy up. And then it spills over into the next day and spills over into the next day. And before you know it, it's been 2-3 months and you haven't tidied up your space. See? So you stopped taking those actions because you didn't feel like it. A lot of the times, we're not going to feel like taking those tasks or doing those things we're supposed to do in order to achieve our goals. But we have to be deliberate. We have to go beyond the feeling of, I don't want to do this, and actually do those things. We have to be intentional, we have to be conscious, and we have to push ourselves in order to take those steps to achieve those goals. Because if we don't do anything about those goals, they will not actually come to pass. So number 1 step about making your SMART goals effective and achievable is for you to be very deliberate. Go beyond the feelings of, I don't want to do it, and actually do it. Number 2, be focused. Be focused. Be focused. I play too much. But yeah, I had to emphasize it 3 times so that we understand that being focused is very important in achieving anything we want to achieve in life, including our goals. But every time somebody says that you have to be focused, it means that you have to sacrifice something else, because there's always something trying to take you away from what you should focus on. I want you to remember when we were kids, when we used to play video games or we used to play outside and love to play and so on and so forth. Our parents really wanted us to achieve straight A's. But you see, that play time and our love for playing was the thing that was taking us away from being focused on our studies. So, in order for us to achieve focus, we must sacrifice. For where there is focus, there is sacrifice. So whatever it is that is pulling you away from achieving your goals, I want to advise you today for you to cut it off. Yes, cut it off. Okay, I'm kind of being dramatic. Okay, sometimes you might actually reduce the level of what you're doing that kind of distracts you. But there are certain things that you can't really reduce, right, to a level. Because you might say, okay, I'm going to reduce on how much I watch movies or whatever it may be. And then at some point in time, it begins to cause issues and it pulls you away from what you need to focus on. Well, if you find it difficult reducing the amount of whatever it is that distracts you, then cut it off. Because at the end of the day, the joy and the happiness and the feeling of fulfillment you will get when you achieve your goals will far outweigh the pain of the sacrifice you need to sacrifice. There are some relationships you need to actually sacrifice, some friendships you need to sacrifice. I mean, it's not every time you need to go out every single Friday to hang out with your friends. Sometimes you need to sacrifice some of those things so you can focus on your goals and achieve those goals. Let me tell you the truth. Where there is focus, there is sacrifice. So sit back and think, what are some of the things that might pull me away from achieving some of these milestones and some of these goals? And begin to sacrifice those things one after the other. And I guarantee you, at the end of the day, you'll be happy with what you have achieved. So, number 2, focus, which also means sacrifice. Number 3, stay energized. It takes energy to perform anything. It takes energy to get anything done. So we must learn how to stay energized as we move towards achieving our goal. Energy is so important. As we continue to push forward and we continue to try to achieve these goals, it's important we stay energized, we stay motivated, we stay inspired, we stay enthusiastic. Whatever name you want to call it, the same effect is that you keep pushing and you keep making that progress there. Yes, there's going to be challenges and there are going to be setbacks. And these are the kinds of things that causes for us to lose morale from time to time. Sometimes we might be trying to achieve certain milestones and we might be failing over and over again. In fact, failing once might not discourage you, but when you have failed like 5 or 6 times on trying to achieve one milestone, it might get you de-energized, as it were, if there's a word like de-energized. But you might begin to lose morale in some point of way. So it's important to learn to keep being energized. And one of the ways to keep yourself energized is for you to keep the end point in front of your eyes. Pay attention to the reason why you started the journey in the first place. Let it inspire you. Listen to motivational and inspirational talks that gets your mind going to believe for better. It is so important to be encouraged and to lift up your hope and to get back out there and keep pushing. Another way to stay energized is to pace yourself. You see, when you're exercising, when you're on a long run, like you're running for about 20 minutes or 30 minutes, you notice that you pace yourself. Sometimes you go faster, sometimes you go slower. And it's the same thing with achieving your goals. From time to time, you have to know how to push yourself and how to relax a little. And sometimes you might need to take a break so that you can re-energize again. But energy is so important. Enthusiasm is so important. Inspiration is so important. Motivation is so important. Having that high morale is a very important thing to achieving your goals. So learn how to stay energized as you go towards achieving these goals. Don't let yourself be discouraged. Don't have a pity party. Yes, you might feel sad a little because there are going to be setbacks. But when you do feel sad, get back up again and start moving. It's so important. Stay energized. Lights, camera, action. Number 4, emphasize actions. Okay, this also goes more for introverts. Like I said in the beginning, lots of introverts just imagine that just because they're thinking of an action and they're actually doing something about it. But you have to emphasize actions, okay, in achieving your goals. And I'm not just talking about different types of actions. I'm talking about the actions that directly relate with achieving your goals. What am I trying to say? Listen, Sometimes we tend to feel like we've done something about achieving our goals simply because we have written them down and we have made them smart. Yes, you've done something, but that's not the kind of action I'm talking about. Sometimes you feel like just because you've done your research, you've taken an action towards achieving your goal. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the direct actions that leads to the direct results. Remember the illustration I gave about tidying your room, okay? Thinking about tidying your room is not an action that actually gets your room tidy. Hoping that you will tidy your room is not an action. Having it in mind that you will tidy your room is not an action that directly relates with tidying your room. Doing your research about how to tidy your room it's not an action to actually do it. What actually gets your room tidy is the action of tidying up your room. That's what I'm saying. So look at the actions, pay attention and emphasize the actions that directly relates with you achieving your goals. Okay, you've done your research, that's nice. You've written your SMART goals, that's nice. You've come up with actionable points, that's nice. But emphasize actions. Listen, I say that number 4 is what will change your life forever, because these actions are the things that will lead you to actually achieving the goals. If you do not take these direct actions, you will not see the results. In fact, I want you to feel like if you're not taking those direct actions to achieve your goals, you're not doing anything about them. So if you say you actually want to lose weight, simply thinking about losing weight or even signing up at the gym is not good enough. You have to actually go to the gym and exercise. You have to actually keep to your diet and lose that weight. If you say that you want to switch jobs, you want to get a better job, just talking about it is not good enough. You have to actually get on the internet and look for available jobs out there. Send in your applications, send in your CV. These are actions that directly relate with you achieving your goals. I want to say something that's a little bit of a tongue twister, and I hope I get it right, but I'm going to say it anyway. What says you are actually doing something about your goals is actually taking the actions you said you would take in the times when you said you would take those actions over the period of time when you're supposed to take those actions in increasing order until your goal is achieved. That was a hard one. Should I say it again? Yes, sir. Okay. What says you are actually doing something about your goals is taking those actions you said you would take at the time when you said you would take them over the period of time you said you'd be taking them in increasing order until your goal is achieved. Boy, I'm good. That was a lot. I might not have gotten it word for word, but the point I was trying to make was this. You have to take the actions, all right, at the times when you said you would take those actions over the period of time when you said you were going to take those actions in increasing order until your goal is achieved. Basically, keep doing what you said you would do until you achieve your goals. We move. Number 5, finish. I cannot overemphasize how important this particular part is. Finish, finish, finish. You have to finish and achieve that goal. You have to push until you reach the end point. You've heard the phrase that it's not over until you win. Well, it's not over until you finish. It might get hard, it might get difficult, it might be a struggle, but keep your eyes on the prize, keep your eyes at the finish line, keep pushing, keep doing what you can do until you finish. If you can't fly, run. If you can't run, crawl. If you can't crawl, walk. If you can't walk, roll on the floor. Make sure you are moving forward every single day to achieving your goals. Do something. Don't just stop there. Don't just give up. Make sure you finish. I remember a video I saw on social media. There was this race, and there was this competitor that was competing with some other people. I think it was 100 meters, or was it 200-meter race? I don't know. So the moment they started the race, one of the contestants sprang his foot, his ankle, and could not run as well as he could. He was hopping on one foot. One would have thought that he would have opted out of the race and said, hey, because of this injury, I can't continue. But to our surprise, he kept hopping on that foot and kept trying to finish. He had it in his mind to finish, that he should just finish. Listen, let me let you know something. If he had opted out of the race, okay, at the end board, they wouldn't have listed his name as one of the number of people that finished, okay? He would have been out of the race entirely. But he finished. Even if he came in last, he finished. So also is the race of success. Even if you come in last, you finish. That means you succeeded. On the board of success, nobody cares about who succeeded first or who succeeded last. As long as you succeed, you succeed. It doesn't really matter at what time you succeeded. Some people became a success when they were in their 20s. Some became a success when they were in their 40s. But hey, who really cares about when you become a success? Everybody really cares about you succeeding. That's exactly how it is in the race for success. There's a finish line. Everybody who crosses that finish line has won. As in, everybody who crosses the finish line has succeeded. It doesn't matter at what time when you cross the finish line. The most important thing is that you cross the finish line. Nobody's going to care about how old you were when you started the company that became a success, how old you were when you wrote that movie that became a success, how old you were when you started that product that became such a success. Everybody cares about the fact that you succeeded. So keep pushing, keep running until you cross the finish line. Finish and succeed. There's a song that says, you can get it if you really want. You can get it if you really want. But you must try, try and try, try and try. If you succeed at last, you will succeed. Just keep pushing until you cross that finish line. Finish. Important point. Listen, I know I say that you needed to take a break to re-energize, okay? And I emphasize the importance of taking breaks, but don't fall into the trick of taking a break and then falling off. Many people have fallen off their track of achieving their goals because they decided to take a little break. A little break that was supposed to last a week has gone on for 3-4 years and they haven't gotten back on track on achieving their goals. So taking a break is a very seductive thing. It's a very tricky thing, okay? Take a break and be smart about it and get back on your path. This is an important point because it happens to the best of us. It happens to the best of them. If you are somebody that apparently took a break and it's been 5 years since you got back on doing what you wanted to do, get back on it today. As you're watching this right now, sit up and start taking that step towards achieving your goal. And it's going to be awesome. Trust me. The bottom line is, when it comes to achieving your goals, there are various challenges that come, and I've given you some important hacks that will help you achieve your goals in spite of those challenges. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, remember, your dream is possible. Remember, the title says a successful business. The title didn't say starting a business, because I want you to avoid